Hello. We go.
Hello. So many people. I love it.
I know. How cool. Right. Hopefully everyone.
What can I tell him? Well, I don't even know. You've got to turn it on, Harrison.
We love you, Harrison. Right. Let me go in the other room. Have a little bit.
I haven't seen you for ages now, or Rachel.
I know.
It's been so long.
Let me. Those who haven't seen my little
Oh my God. I think
there we go.
I think you even made Alan clucky today, Nat.
Oh, bless him. Gave him a little pat on the back. He was like, oh.
He's like driving home. He's like, I can just remember when she was that small. Like, all like reminiscing. Very cute.
You do forget, don't you? Everyone that's come has said, oh my God, he is so small. And even though their kids were smaller than Connor, you just forget.
Yeah, true. Okay, guys. So we are, this is the first What Do You Want to Know When month. So all month we are looking at research. What I might do is I might just mute.
Mute is mate.
I'm just going to mute your So, yes, so it's the first What Do You Want to Know Wednesday of October, and we are looking all month at looking at different ways of how we look after our customers. And so this week is all about follow-up. So we thought when we were coming up with the ideas of what we were going to do this month, we just thought because it's the biggest couple of months of the year are October, November, purely because of Christmas and everything. We just thought let's really chat and share ideas about the best ways to look after our customers, because it's such an important time of the year. Every day is important to look after our customers, but especially this time of year where we're generating sales and we've got lots of people, new customers, old customers reordering. So we thought we'd start with follow-up. I'm going to unmute everybody now, and I'm going to try and balance my thing just so we can all start chatting. How do I unmute? Ask all to unmute. I think I've asked everyone to unmute, so if you could unmute.
I have.
That would be awesome.
Love you. Bye.
Okay. So I'm going to open the floor up to everybody, really, just to sort of share their general follow-up ideas. I just wanted to, there was a couple of things I wanted to share first, if that's okay. When I was thinking today about what do I do as a follow-up, one of the things that I wanted to sort of say to everybody, like watching on the playback and for you guys that are alive now, one of the things that I make sure I don't do with my follow-up is just do it when I want orders. So I don't do my follow-up just to get an order. I really look at my follow-up as a way of conversations with my customers about what they're using, a sample that I send. It isn't always them to say this is the special I've got, or do you want to top up. I try and make sure that I give value as well as asking to order as well. So that was one of the things I wanted to, when I was thinking about how I do my follow-up. That is what I just check in that they're enjoying the product still. Is there a particular scent they've tried that they love? Like just having conversations rather than saying, do you need a top up? This, I'm doing a wash special, you know, so I'm not always asking them to buy from me. And me personally, my follow-up system that I use Amy, because it's just so easy. It's all linked to the workstation. If you're first starting, is it 4 months? 4 months now they give you free, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you get 4 months free, so you might as well try it, you know. But I use Amy, but I don't just use Amy. I use paper orders, notebook where I put all the samples that I use up. So I use Amy in conjunction with using my Facebook Messenger my paper book. So I've got a few things that I use, but Amy is the place where it all sort of comes together. You know, remind me if I don't miss people if I'm using Amy. So yeah, that was me. So what does everybody else do? Or has anyone else got any questions about follow-up? Are you following up and it's not working? What's the go?
Well, I make sure every time I get a PWS order that I email them and thank them.
Yeah.
And I also send them the link to my business page so that they can obviously contact me again. And the fact that they can see upcoming sales and promotions and personal specials that I do. So I mention that in there as well to kind of push them over to actually jumping on the link and following it. And then obviously I'll follow up again when I'm doing doing an order in a month or two. I will then re-message them, see how they liked getting there, or like, did they get their order okay? Is everything okay? And yeah, it's just a kind of another reminder that I'm still here and to like my page and things like that.
Yeah. And there's lots of ways to follow up. You can message them on Facebook. One of the other things, I don't know if anyone else, and Martina does, we've both been doing it this year, most of this year, Martina, haven't we?
Yeah. I've been doing twice. Well, I used to do once a month at the start. Now I'm doing twice monthly. And I do have VIP customers group on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much kind of a follow-up as well, how you keep in touch with your customers. So I do newsletter, I do have customers group, I keep in touch with my customers through Messenger, and the main way how I do follow-up, I would say, is Amy. It's so easy that it's really worth the money. But yeah, everyone can try it for the four months for free at the start. It's connected to your workstation. So if you do your orders properly, it sounds super loud.
He's in there. I'm just going to go in and mute him. Center. Mute.
Yeah.
There we go. It was
yeah, so if you do it properly and you add all information about your customers when you're placing orders, then it will be automatically connected with the Amy app, and like all the orders will be connected to your customers. So when you click on them, you will see what they ordered in the past. It gives you ideas on how to follow up as well, what to tell them and everything. So yeah, it's really super easy to use. And if you are not good with systems, this is making the whole system for you. It tells you when to follow up, how to follow up, before orders, after orders, everything. So it's super easy.
Yeah. One of the things that I really wish, looking back over the 5 years, is I wish I had collected my customers' information as well as what I do now. Like over the last sort of couple of years, I'm loads more thorough now than what I was. And like one big bit of advice to you guys that are starting out is collect those emails, collect those telephone numbers, you know. One of the things that I started to do in my telephone a little while ago, in my iPhone, was when I'm putting my customers' telephone numbers in, I'm like putting their names, and then underneath them I'm putting where I met them, or if they were interested in something in particular. And that's been like a game changer for me, because if someone rings me, I know who they are and I'm picking it up. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to do it in the beginning, but it didn't. So I would have all these like text messages through, not knowing who they were, you know. So I knew they were all customers, but now just to go in and I can see that it's Sally and I met her at Tracy's party, or you know what I mean. So just one bit of advice would be don't like skip putting in that information properly from the beginning, because it makes life so much easier.
What I also do with this is I put in front of every customer, I put a C, so they all start with C in my phone book. So whenever someone with C is calling me, I know it's someone, it's a customer, or message, I know it's a customer. And to all my teamies, I put a T. So yes, and then the name, and then where I met them as well. I've always been doing this because I put, like, when I meet someone at the kids' school or something, I always do it with those people as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been always doing it with, like, everyone.
And it's just like it makes such a difference.
Yeah,
such a difference. Why did I not do? One of those silly things that it takes 2 seconds to do.
Like, I don't even put, like, surname in my phone book, because that's for nothing for me. I don't need to know that. I need to know who it is. So where you meet them or whatever, however you can remember them, just put some information there.
Yeah. But yeah, Amy, and I do think a newsletter, but basically what you're trying to do, because you don't want to be sending the same message to every single person every single time, you want to have different ways in which you can follow up. So like Martina said, you can follow up with your VIP, like through a VIP group. A newsletter, you're going to be able to send a newsletter out to everybody once or twice a month, and that's hopefully going to capture most of your customer base. But you're also then, that's going to have, like, what deals you're doing, what specials you've got, like what's coming out, what's new. And then when you actually reach out to people, like on a one-to-one basis, you can have more of a chit chat and make it a lot more personal. I don't use the Amy.
Me neither.
I don't use the template. I'm sure it works great for some people, but I don't. I would rather message someone and have a chat.
I don't use it either, but it's there for people who have no idea what to say, what to message, so you can use that as well. The thing is as well that you meet people in different places. So whenever you meet someone through Facebook, through buy and sell pages, for example, and someone randomly messages you that they want to order something, you can add them to your VIP customers group right away, because you met them on Facebook. Your customers group is on Facebook, so you've got them there, but you don't have their email address right away, so you can't reach them right away with newsletters, and they might not want to give it to you either. So they can be in your customers group, but they might not be in your audience for newsletter, and vice versa. You can have people whom you meet on parties and you've got their email address, but you're not friends with them on Facebook. So, and they might not want to friend you on Facebook right away because they don't know you that well. So it's good to have more platforms and more ways how to follow up, because there will never be one platform where you will have all your customers.
Yeah. And I found that, especially the last couple of months where I've been doing a lot of fundraisers, like I've never met these people before, and there's no way, I'm not connecting with them on Facebook like I would normally connect with people. So a lot of these people, it's where they filled their order forms in and I've made sure they've done correctly with the email and their telephone number. I'm ringing them a lot more, which is something that I would normally send like a message and stuff through. But when I found, because I've met them, like I've never met them before, and there's not been a host or anything like that. It's been a bit of a different situation. So I've been tending to pick up the phone a lot more, and that's helped build the relationship. Whereas normally I'd send a text saying, "Oh, I've got your goodies in. Can I deliver them?" I've just been picking up the phone and saying, "Hi, it's Carly. How you doing?" And just chit chat, and then saying to them, "Oh, I've got your email. I can put you onto my newsletter database." They're like, "Yeah," because you're talking to them there and then. And I spoke to a few of them about Facebook. Some of them have said yes, some of them have said no. So, but because I know that I'm talking to them on the phone, and I know that I've got their email address, at least I've got a connection with them somewhere. And like Martina said, you're not going to be able to connect with people the same way throughout. So you've got to have different options when you're looking at your follow-up, because it's fine right now if you've only got like 20, 30 customers, but what happens when you get 500, 600 customers? That's a lot of people that you're servicing and you're trying to reach reach on a regular basis so that they know who you are, you know.
The sooner you start using all these ways, the better for you, because you will not lose any customers for the future. If you wait for your system until you've got like 200 people, in the meantime, you lose so many customers just because you didn't follow up properly.
I would hate to think the amount of customers that I've lost over the period of time. And I consider myself to be pretty good at customer service with my customers. I treat them really well. I look after them, send them samples, all that sort of stuff. But because I didn't do these basic things at the beginning, I have lost tons of customers.
And we've always been taught to do it as well. Like, it's not that we didn't know that we should be doing it, but it's just something. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like Amy's super easy for you to use, but if Amy doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. The right system for you is one that you use, you know. So if you're a paper and order form person and that's how you want to do it, like whatever works for you really, but you just got to keep a note of them. And just it's the devil's in the detail. It's the little things. So if you remember if you don't have to remember, but if you write it down in the notes on Amy, or you write on an order form, however you keep it, this person loves blueberry cheesecake, or this person was going crazy over the fragrance flower. You know, when a catalogue comes to finishing and blueberry cheesecake goes out of it, I don't know what happened, but if it did, you would be able to contact that person and say like, hi, it's going, Scentsy Club, da 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 da. It just gives you that little bit of inside, like. You can have that conversation a little bit more, a little bit easier if you put down little notes, you know. If they were having an argument about a party, you might speak to them straight after the party that you've met them at, and they say, no, I'm not interested. But when it comes to the next booking blitz that you do in 6 months' time, you've got written down somewhere, or in Amy, you've got it down as a prospective host. You can with them again, because their circumstances might have changed, you know. So just the devil's really in the detail of it. You want to try and keep your notes as clear as possible so you know who they are, you know. Has anyone else got anything else that they do differently or they want to add? Like, it is only about...
What I was just going to say...
Amy... Oh, go on, Nat. No, go, Nat.
Okay. I was just going to say, I find when I put through people's orders, if I don't put through all their info, like their email, their phone number, when I go on to Amy, it directly sends them a message or an email, which makes life so much easier. But if you haven't got their details, if you've just put in Sally and her last name and then list all the rest out, then you have to go onto Facebook or find her phone number to send that message. So it's never too late to do anything, but my word of advice is start now. If you haven't, start putting all their details in, so when you do start to use Amy, your life is so much easier, because the job is it's done for you.
And you might think at this minute in time you don't need Amy. Like, I've had a lot of new people that have started with me that they're like, oh, I don't need that at the moment, but you will. Trust us, you will.
And even just like within the first 4 months, which are for free, you will gain a lot of customers. So it's definitely worth start doing it right away from the start.
Yeah, definitely. Rach, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what kind of things you put in your emails. Like in your newsletters, I should say.
Okay.
I never know what to say.
Go on, Martina.
Okay, so I would highly recommend to do them as personal as possible. So definitely you need to connect with those people. No matter how much you know them already, you should be, this is how you stand out. This is, if you just send them information about what's going on, they can see it all over Facebook and they will just unsubscribe. Make it so that people wanna be connected with you. So make it personal, make it about your life. Tell them whatever you've been doing during the month or in the last 2 weeks, however often you want to send it. So make it personal, and then obviously give them the information from workstation and about whatever is happening as well. But don't just copy and paste it. Do it again in your own words. Make it fun, or make it, I don't know, however,
Make it me.
whatever. Yeah, make it you, exactly.
Awesome.
So I always make the start about whatever we've been doing as a family, whatever was happening in my life, about weather, about COVID, about however we were handling it, and whatever what you want to do and you want to say, and then about all specials, all news, what's happening in the Scentsy world.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
And
Yeah. Your own personal special. So I'm exactly the same as Martina. The top part of my newsletter, there's a picture of me, Sophie Allen, and I write what we've been doing that month. I always sign it from Carly and the Bartle clan. And it's all about like, and there's a little bit of Scentsy in there. Like this month will be all about how we've just sold our house. So I'm going to be doing some open houses to get rid of all of my stock so I don't have to move it. But like just bringing them in. And I've like had people message me back and go, I really enjoy reading what's going on with the family and da 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 da. So and then I normally put in like a personal special. So say for instance like the Milky Way thing that we're doing on Skies, you can put that in the newsletter. And I tend to do I don't know about you, Martina, but I tend to do the first one about my specials I've got this month, what's been going on with me, and then the second one tends to be more about the opportunity. So I tend to put more stuff in the second newsletter about host kits, parties, things like that. You know?
I do this a little bit different. I've got a template of the newsletter, and so I've got a top picture of us as a family as well. And then the bottom part is always the same for me. So I always, every single time I'm mentioning hosting parties, joining with a full kit, joining with a host kit. And I always tend to, whenever I'm talking about me in the newsletter, I'm kind of trying to put there, it's about us, whatever we are doing, but obviously trying to put there how Scentsy is helping me living that life.
Yeah.
In a not pushy way, so that they can't really see like I'm just selling them the Scentsy life, but yeah, you know what I mean. So
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, the bottom part always stays for me the same, but I'm always trying to add to like every second, third newsletter some kind of special, my personal special for them, for joining or something like that. I mean, I know we are not allowed to pay for them, but special offer, obviously cheaper kits, which I always have available. So every now and then I offer them like for $30 or whatever, or some specials for hosting parties or something like that. So that's extra, but I always have information about joining, about hosting parties at the bottom of every single newsletter.
Awesome. Thank you. I've always wanted to.
It's not hard to do, Rach. It's like they're pretty easy to put together, and I think like I don't sometimes I'll get loads of response from my newsletter, other times I'll get crickets, you know. So but it just goes out consistently. It just keeps on going out, you know. Just my way of,
you always put new people in there, like every time I'm sending it out, I have always some new people in there, so it's worth having the information about joining and hosting and opening their own account. It's worth having it there every single time, because you've got new people in there every single time as well, and you will always have people who will unsubscribe and stuff. But yeah, it's just, as Carly said, sometimes you will have a lot of response and sometimes you will have none.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.
anyone else have questions?
No.
I can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Still driving home. I got lost. No, I didn't. I use Amy a lot. I even use it for the templates, but I make my own templates up, so I make them very personal, because I just find the amount of people I can get stuff out to is broader. I agree with Carly, like I wish way back in the day I got all of the information for everything. But I did do a painful exercise over a week some time ago to message everybody. You know, if I didn't have their email, which was mainly what I didn't have. I always tended to have a name, address, and phone number, but it was an email. So, and generally, when you do follow up with them, to ask email, sometimes it reminds them about, you're still there, you know, and most people, if you say you're going to add them to a newsletter, a monthly newsletter, they're quite happy to give their email over. But I do use Amy for all my follow-ups, as far as orders go, and things like that. But I also, and this was spoken about this morning, I also use my diary a lot for my paper follow-up. No names mentioned, but for example, you know, if it might be I need to follow up something, not necessarily an order or it's just a general follow-up, I will always put that in my diary. I will also record in Amy orders, so if I had some stock on hand that I actually was selling to somebody, I would always record that in Amy, because you've got that stock there, because you can't record that in your workstation, so I always record that in Amy. So I highly recommend Amy to anybody that actually doesn't have it, to do the trial if you can get it, because it's well worth it. There's a group on Facebook I think you can join, that tells you like tutorials and all that sort of stuff. But I do my diary a lot too, because if I don't write it down at my age, I will forget it. Newsletter, definitely. I've had a lot more interaction with newsletters, and I think it's nice if they, you know, if they're sort of expecting your newsletter. And obviously Messenger and phone and that sort of thing. Again, I agree with Carly and Martina about writing down where you meet people, you know, especially if you're doing markets and things like that, because you always meet so many people there. So, yeah, but I suppose in addition to anything else like that, I do use my diary for follow-ups, because it might be outside of an order follow-up. It might be somebody's messaged me to say I've got one at the moment, their diffuser is going to be skewiff. She's around the corner from me, but she's away at the moment, so I, you know, write in the diary, follow up with her to go and see her about her diffuser and stuff like that, because again, we were speaking about this morning, you can't possibly remember everything, and I think a diary is an awesome way too, to be able to, and it's right there, you jot it down. And the other thing is, make sure whenever you're doing an order, I always no matter if it's stock at home that I've got or whatever it might be, I always do an order form for everybody. And before I get rid of that order form, I make sure I always put in the details into Amy and also into my MailChimp, which is what I use for my newsletters. And I do not get rid of that form until those two things have been filled out. So they're done, dusted, and all of the details are in both areas. Yeah.
That's good. I always add, whenever I'm sending samples out, I always add that information to Amy as well. I haven't been doing that in the past, but it's quite time consuming, to be honest. But it's well worth it, because if you're sending samples with every single time I'm sending out my order or I'm giving out my order, I always give some samples there to every single person, and you don't want to give people the same sample again and again and again. So I always have a look back what I've given them in the past. If it was washer waves, I don't give them washer waves, or if I give them washer waves again, I give them at least different fragrance so they can try it out. Or I'm trying to give them different products to try usually. So yeah, that's a good way how to keep information with customers as well.
I think as well, I've had it before where people have messaged me and said, oh, what was that one that you gave me last time? Can I order that? And I'm like,
true.
I have no idea. So if you don't write it down, and they would have melted the wax, liked it, and chucked the bag away with the name on, you know, and they'll go, oh, the pink one, you know. So I've had that happen to me before.
The pink one.
And they really appreciate it as well when they ask you, like, do you remember what was the fragrance you gave me the other day or last time? And you just have a look there and you'll be like, yeah, it was Jammy time. And they'll go, nice.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? We've got 10 minutes left, guys. Has anyone else got any other questions? We've got
crickets.
Just wanted to...
Karen, congratulations. Karen, congratulations too, before I forget.
Yay, yeah. I just wanted to mention the post I have posted today, which I shared, what Patty Wonder shared on the official consultants page, which I really love it. I've been doing letterbox jobs in the past, and like in the first 2 years probably after I joined, and never since, because I never ever had any response from them. The reason why is because you can't follow up with these people. There is no way how to follow up with them, and unless you knock on all the doors and ask them if they liked that washer example you gave them 2 weeks ago or something, which I'm not going to do. So yeah, I've always been doing it at the end of season with my leftover catalogs. I gave them with sample of washer webs or some wax samples, and I've been doing heaps of them, and never ever I had any order or anyone contacting me. But with the sunflower seeds, and I suppose you can think of different ways as well. But this is something like giving them your Facebook page or customers group for them to join, and giving them something like the sunflower seeds might be a way how to follow up with them, how to keep in touch with them for the future. Because if they post on I would more say it's more for Facebook business page rather than a customers group. I don't think that those people would join your customers group right away, but they might post on your business page how they're doing with the sunflower seeds or whatever you ask them to do. So this might be a good idea. And also with the sold things, obviously she is making it a good thing that she's selling so many houses, right? So if you post in your on your business page pictures of all the things which are sold out, and just say something like, hey, hurry up, things are selling out really quickly. If you're running out of wax, order as soon as possible. Or something like that. Make it a good thing as well, that people love it so much, everything's selling out, rather than being scared that everything's selling out and you will not have anything to sell to your customers anymore. So yeah, I really loved that post, because first of all, doing letterbox jobs is a good thing when you have, as I said, leftover catalogs at the end of the season, or if you move into a new neighborhood, to get people know that there is a Scentsy consultant. But not being able to follow up with these people is a big thing. But this is a good idea how to be able to. So I think I'll be trying that as well.
I think it was genius. Genius. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah, I really love that as well.
Okay, guys. Well, so for the next coming weeks, I think we've got next week is all about PWS orders. How do we start building a relationship with someone when they've just ordered through your PWS and you've never met them? They could live the other side of the country. They could live in New Zealand if you're in Australia, you know, so it's how we would build the relationship with them. And then we've got going the extra mile, I think it is, isn't it? Going the extra mile. So especially coming up to Christmas, there's things that I know that I do for my customers that I do around this time of year. So just sharing those sort of like out of the box ideas. And then we're going to talk about VIP, well, why to have them, why to have a VIP group and a business paid and or like however you do it. So yeah, they're the coming weeks. So hopefully by the end of October, you'll all have some buzzing ideas on how to smash out these biggest months of the year, hopefully. Okay, guys.
Awesome.
We're good?
Seeing you all. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And enjoy the rest of your day, evening.
Yeah, we'll see you all next Wednesday.
Awesome.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Nice